Alright, Jeff Sessions. This is one of those stories that I'm concerned that they might be trying to downplay a bit. Now, hang on one second. Alright, so, Secretary, no, stupid. Okay, well, I'm going completely off the cuff on this one. Alright, Attorney General, Jeff Sessions is catching some flack currently because he kind of sort of committed perjury during his confirmation hearings. And now there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of things going on with this story that a lot of different opinions and points of view. But here's what I feel about it. All right, here's what from what I've gathered what's going on. Now, during the presidential campaign last year, Jeff Sessions did some work for Trump in his campaign. Now, at some point, evidently multiple times, either in connection with that or at other instances or occurrences, Jeff Sessions met with Russian government representatives, like an ambassador, I believe, who is like a KGB spy recruiter kind of guy, who's basically their cover. Their thing is officially they're a diplomat or ambassador or something. But anyway, I believe he actually contacted him on the phone a couple times, met with him in his office once or twice, things like that. Now some people, of course, are pointing the finger at this and going, "Oh my God, look at collusion between Trump and Russia. Trump and Russia. You know, this is serious and horrific stuff. You know, we need to investigate." And honestly, again, it's one of those things the whole Russia involvement with the tampering with the election. Again, that's still up in the air. Nothing's been proven. But in this particular situation, there are people actually starting to call for Jeff Sessions to step down or to resign as Attorney General because of this. And honestly, I agree with them. Because here's the thing. All right, he had a couple meetings with representatives of the Russian government. Now, under normal circumstances, that's not a big thing. He was working with a presidential campaign. He was a senator. So there are many perfectly legitimate reasons for him to be meeting with representatives of the Russian government. The problem is, during his confirmation hearing, Senator, was it Representative? I think it was Senator. I forget, there's so many of them. Al Franken specifically asked him if he had had any contact with, in the past, during the campaign, things like that, in the past few months or whatever, with representatives of the Russian government. And he specifically said no. And that's the big issue, personally, what I feel. Because when he said that, he said no. He had had no contact with any representatives of the Russian government. However, he had a couple phone calls. He actually met in his office at least once with them. And that is perjury. He was under oath at that hearing. And specifically said he had had no contact with Russian officials. But he did. Therefore, perjury. Now, some people kind of there's two sides of the story. Some people are oh, well, he's just meeting with them for whatever official business. It's all above board. Some people on the left are my God, this is how we lost the election. No. I'm not getting into any of that. That is beyond the scope of this particular issue of whether or not Jeff Sessions committed perjury and should he resign. And honestly, in my opinion, yes, he should. Because he did commit perjury. He specifically said he had no contact with Russian officials, and he under oath, but it has been proven that he has. Now, it doesn't matter if he was talking about what the nature of the meetings were. It doesn't matter if it was, the laying the groundwork to torpedo Clinton's campaign. It doesn't matter if they were talking about where's the best slice of pizza in the Capitol. That is irrelevant. The simple question is, as far as did he commit a crime, which is perjury in this instance. And in this case, he did. Because that was the question. The question was not, were you working with the Russian government in an attempt to derail Hillary Clinton's campaign? The question was, have you had contact with Russian government officials? And he said no. Therefore, he lied. Therefore, he committed perjury. Therefore, he broke the law. Simple as that. How long did I run my head? 7 minutes. Okay.